Welcome back to another Bourbon Bums review presented by Greene Valley Wine and Spirits, 344 Commons Drive in Bolingbrook, Illinois. I am Bologna, and I'm back in my bum cave. I am not behind the bar at Head Bum in Charge's house because, unfortunately, I'm reviewing something we already reviewed. I've got the current latest Booker's The Reserve 2024 release. And me and the head bum in charge reviewed this at his place about 3 weeks ago. And unfortunately, bum of the week, head bum in charge, he was not wearing his mic. So the audio was so bad, and we've released some videos that audio not up to snuff. We're working on that, but this one was so muddled, so muted that we're gonna have to redo it. So I'm in my basement revisiting a bottle that we already reviewed, but I'm happy that I'm doing it because there's some things that have changed now that this bottle has opened up. So what is Booker's The Reserves? Booker's The Reserves is a 2024 release. It is 8 years, 2 months, and 12 days old, 62.95 alcohol by volume. That turns into 125.9 proof. And yeah, this is an 8-year-old whiskey, but I've got the little cheat sheet that all Booker's comes with. So this is the little cheat sheet. It also came with the classic standard Booker's box. Presentation really nice. It doesn't look like the regular Booker's. It's got more of like an elevated feel with the brown and the gold, so it looks great. But yeah, let me bring this up so you guys can see what I'm reading. There we go. Yeah, so the 2024 batch of Booker's The Reserves is aged 8 years, 2 months, and 12 days, and 125.9 proof, spanning 8 production dates and stored in 8 different warehouses. These barrels were aged as followed. And I'm not going to read all of that rigmarole, but you could see it there on screen. It is 3 8-year-old whiskeys or bourbons, 3 9-year-old bourbons, and then a 10 and 14-year-old. Off the rip from when we tasted it originally, I remember it tasting quite a bit older than the 8-year age statement that is legally what they have to, release it as, because everyone knows, you have to state the youngest whiskey in the bottle. So it's technically an 8-year, 2-month, 12-day whiskey, but it tastes a lot older than that. So what is different? Let me bring myself back up. What is different after my first and second tasting? I remember originally we thought it was very peanut forward, like every classic Jim Beam, every classic, Knob Creek and Booker's releases. There's like a peanut aspect to it. I remember us both talking about there being a little bit of like a desserty chocolate aspect to it, like a M&M, peanut M&M. And that's here as well on my second go round. But there are some things that now that it's opened up, it was really noticeable. And the first one being cinnamon. I got a lot more cinnamon this time than last time, both in the nose, and then I got it a lot in the finish of this whiskey. So yeah, I'm gonna get to the tasting in a second, but before I do that, let's pay some bills.
Greene Valley Wine and Spirits in Bolingbrook is the best family-owned liquor store in the southwest suburbs. Come check out their newly remodeled and expanded location for all your liquor needs. They have a great craft beer selection, an ever-expanding portfolio of tequila and bourbon, and a new wine rack showcasing some of the best wines around. And while you're there, stop at their newly added tasting bar, where you can sample some of their Bourbon Bum store picks before you buy. Head into Greene Valley Wine and Spirits, 344 Commons Drive, on the corner of Route 53 and I-55 in Bolingbrook. And tell them the bump sent you.
Okay, so originally it was really chocolate covered peanuts. We got a lot of like just desserty chocolate to it. On the second go round, I'm getting a lot more like red fruit to it, like not a lot of red fruit, but like a raspberry preserve or like raspberry just like dressing that you would put like on a fudge brownie or something like that. I get a lot of fudge to this as well. Um, but yeah, I think MSRP $130. So like $30 more than a standard Booker's release. Cheers, everybody. Yeah. The thing we both talked about on our first review, the chocolate covered peanuts is right there in the beginning. You get, like peanut M&Ms, if you will. But then there's like a fudgy graham cracker aspect to it. I don't want to call it like a s'mores, but definitely like the cracker aspect. And then like cinnamon right at the end. The finish is really nice. So the finish I get oak, that the presence of like the 14 and 10-year whiskey is there. So where you get like a really nice sweet oak. It's not like over oaked. It's not like anything too woody. But there's just like a nice sweet oak right at the end, along with like a peanut butter and cinnamon. Like really, really good. Um, Mouthfeel is coating. It's velvety, and for it being 100, what did I say? 125.9 proof. It's like there's like a Kentucky hug to it, but it's not like super ethanol-y. It didn't like blow out my palate. Let's give it another sip. Yeah, I really like it. Fun fact, I've talked about it earlier in the first video. This is actually my first bottle of Booker's ever. Um, I was always of the belief that if I'm going to spend the $100 on a bottle of Booker's, I'd rather buy some of these right here. The Knob Creek 9-year for their 120 proof, and a lot of the store picks are really, really good. But this Booker's, while they said it's going to be a yearly release, um, it's just like an elevated Booker's. It's on par with some of the better ones I've had at the Head Bum and Charges house. I really liked a couple of the ones that were released a couple, 2-3 years ago. It was like Country Ham. I think Country Ham was one of them. The Lumberyard batch was another one that I really liked. This is just like an elevated version of that. For $30 more, I think it's well worth the extra price tag just because of the velvety, coaty feeling to it. And then the oak. The oak that I don't necessarily get in a lot of Booker's product, I get in the 2024 reserves. I got about one more sip, maybe another more. Let's do one more. Yeah, it just tastes older than the 8 years age statement that they have on it. It tastes like a really solid 10 to 14-year-old type Booker's. Um, Originally, I gave it a B plus. So did the head bum in charge. I think I'm gonna bump it up. I'm gonna bump it up to an A minus. We said that maybe this is going to be right on the outside looking in for our whiskey of the year. I think we're gonna try to do like 8 to 10, you know, whiskeys of the year and then narrow it down to one. But now revisiting this, I think this would do very well blind. I think it's more complex than we gave it credit for the first time. We just thought it was like a chocolate peanut butter bomb. And now doing it and revisiting it, I get the like red fruit aspect to it. I get the graham cracker cinnamon. The cinnamon is really good. So I'm thinking now, it might be in contention for whiskey of the year. Will it win whiskey of the year? Probably not, but I do like it. I would recommend it. I gave it an A minus for 130 bucks. If it's still available where you're at, I would definitely recommend you picking up a bottle. I really like it. I'm really happy with it for it being my first bottle of Booker's. So yeah, that is my review. I'm happy I was able to do it. I was happy to be able to revisit it. Now, we could bum of the week the head bum in charge for not wearing his microphone, but in the long run, I think it was a net positive because the bottle opened up a little bit. I was able to try a little more, and I got a lot more. There's a lot more complexity to it than my original taste. So, thank you guys, everyone, for watching. We have a couple really fun reviews lined up. We're going to keep hammering out the Bourbon Bum content. If you can, please like, subscribe, share, all of that fun stuff. And we'll see you again next time for another Bourbon Bum review. Thanks.